I'm a first-year student at Sloan and also the organizer of this event. We have 14 exciting startups here with us today. The first 7 are those that have raised less than $1 million in fundraising. They'll be starting shortly. The second set of 7 will be starting at 2 p.m., so we'll have time for a short break in between. If you haven't had a chance to check out all of our company's trade show booths, those are located outside of this room, and they extend down the hall towards panel room B. I encourage you to go check them out and see what those companies are doing to shape the world of sports. Each company is going to be given 5 minutes to present a pitch, followed by 3 minutes of questions from our judges. We have a really great set of judges here with us today. We have Bill Aulette, the managing director of the Martin Trust Center for MIT Entrepreneurship. We have Brano Perkovich, the chief investment officer for the San Francisco 49ers. And we have Jack Mula, former counsel for the New England Patriots, as well as an advisor and entrepreneur in digital technologies for fan and consumer engagement across the sports and entertainment industries. Please join me in welcoming our competitors and our judges today. And with that, we'll kick things off with our first competitor.
Hello, I'm Samir. I'm the CEO of Grub.
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I'm the VP of Business Development.
And we're here to present our company, Grub. The way our company started was I took my dad to his very first hockey game. You know, back in his college days, he's a big fan of hockey, but he never got a chance to go to a live game. And so I wanted to make a special event for him and decided to take him to a live game. It was the LA Kings against the Chicago Blackhawks. And we went all out. Bought great seats, got him a jersey, and he was sharing stories of some of the favorite players he grew up watching as a kid. And I remember he turned to me and said, "I'm having the best time ever." And to be honest, it was a really special father-son moment. And I think that's really what sports is all about. It's about bringing people together, basking in the energy, and just having a great time. But it was interrupted by the fact that we had to stand in line to get food for 40 minutes and figured there has to be a better way. So it kind of led to the fruition of what we're doing today.
And so our mission is to create a memorable and satisfying experience for sports fans so they don't miss out on any part of the game. And we've done this by providing an in-seat delivery service that allows fans to have food delivered right to their seat. And what our tagline is we want fans to miss the lines and not the action. So we've provided an in-seat delivery technology, and we've simplified and transformed from an app because after a beta test, we've decided that it was a little bit more universal, fast, and reliable. So we've turned our platform into a text messaging service. So not only do we provide the technology, which is patent pending, but we also run the operations with our on-site management and personnel, and we have a full-blown marketing strategy that allows our clients to grow their revenue. So how it works is each team would have a keyword, and take, for instance, one of our current clients is the University of Arizona. Their keyword is Wildcats. So each fan would text message Wildcats to our number, which is 888-111. And from there, they'd receive a picture menu and instructions on how to order. From there, they'd review the picture menu and decide what they wanted to order, text it in. We would then place the order, and in no time, a Grub runner would be delivering it right to their
As this makes money. On-demand delivery is the second fastest growing trend in the market today. Currently, 30% of people don't order at games because of the long lines. And so you're tapping into a market that you're really not capitalizing on. Not only that, fans are spending more than twice as much with our service as opposed to standing in line. We're taking advantage of the fact that people are lazy and will pay for convenience. One of our customers was a mom of 4 kids. She ended up ordering 4 times that game and told us it was one of the best and most convenient experiences she's ever had. On another note, our very first customer was a woman in a wheelchair. She ended up ordering 4 times. She didn't end up ordering 4 times that game, but she told us it was one of the most simple and hassle-free services she's ever had. And she ended up giving a $25 tip to one of our runners. So what you see here is a cost breakdown per order. And we have a sale of customers spending about $24.50. Typically, the food cost and labor is around 30%. The additional labor to run the service is about 5%. Administrative fees come out to 10%, and then we take a 10% cut on top of that, which amounts to a 55% cut. So you're looking at roughly making about $11 per order. So if we were to penetrate a market of about 5%, you're making $2,500 roughly for a section of 10,000 people. So if we did a stadium of 50,000 people, this number would be 5 times that. What I want to note is that this does not take into account any type of alcohol delivery sales, so if when we roll this out to professional venues, this number would be a lot higher. So our timeline is that we want to expand, our goal was to expand into 5 venues this upcoming year. We've already surpassed that projection. We've secured contracts with teams in the MLB, NBA, college basketball, and college football. And we plan to expand a lot further than that. By 2018, we plan to expand to 50 venues, and our experience has been we've had 2 successful exits in the past with startup technology, and so with our key connections that we've built already in the sports and concessions industry, we plan to take this company to the next level. Thank you so much.
Why wouldn't the teams do this themselves? What's your competitive advantage?
Our competitive advantage is through our proprietary technology in the text messaging platform that we've built, as well as the logistics and operations into running the service.
But other people could do that as well.
I mean, I'll be more than happy to let them try it. There's been many companies that have attempted to do this, as well as VenueNext. They've, done this as well, but a lot of them have failed in the past, and this is one of the reasons why it's not been executed successfully.
What's your relationship with the folks that operate the F&B stands today? Do you have a relationship with them directly? Because they have obviously vested interest to increase their own sales.
Yeah, absolutely. So we partner with we work with the concession stands themselves, and we're not only increasing the sales for the sports teams, but for the concession stands.
And just so I understand, just think about your business model. You are hiring your own runners. They're on your payroll.
No, so we provide on-site managers to oversee the operation, to essentially the brains of everything, and then the stadium provides us with the runners, essentially like the muscle.
Okay.
Samir, are you telling us the text messaging is your distinguishing feature versus the other 10,000 apps that order food with?
I'm sorry, do you mind repeating that?
The text messaging feature of your business, is that unique to you?
Yes, it is. That's patent pending.
It's also easier, it's more universal. Most people, if you look at your phone, you don't use the apps as much as you would initially start to use them. So you might think, oh, this is a cool app. A lot of people aren't engaging. And we've learned that. We did have an app initially, but after a beta test, we really understood that most of the fans that can afford to pay a delivery fee or even great seats, whether it's in the nosebleeds or the best seats, we want to offer it to everyone, but it's also easier for an older person to just text message it. Anyone, younger, to go into an app and to imagine at a stadium where everyone's on their phone, it's hard to send a text message. For us, that seems like the easiest way to get into an app and to go into that is just a lot harder.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I drove to the conference this morning, I knew more about my car than my own body. I knew whether I needed to put gas in the tank, air into tires, or change the oil. I had access to loads of information like this that I could act on to keep my car running its best. But the only thing I know about my body is my weight and my heart rate. Everything else I'm left to feel. I just don't have the same level of information to keep my body running my best. And this is exactly what we're fixing at Humon. And we're fixing it for those that are pushing themselves further every day, endurance athletes. The biggest problem these athletes face is knowing how hard to push themselves up to, but without exceeding the limit of their body. And knowing where their limit is allows these athletes to avoid under or overtraining and to optimize every workout. But today, to understand where their limit is, these athletes use the lactic acid threshold test, a process that requires them to go to a lab, exercise on a stationary bike or a treadmill, while a nurse periodically pricks their finger, drawing blood to measure the accumulation of lactic acid. But this accumulation is actually caused by a deficit of oxygen within the muscles. So at Humon, we've developed the technology to measure this oxygen deficit and predict and prevent the accumulation of lactic acid before it happens. And we tell the athlete exactly where they stand versus their limit.
And it's right here. We've built the first thigh-worn wearable that optically measures the way your muscles are using oxygen in real time. It works on any skin color, any skin type, and without a single drop of blood. Our patented muscle oxygenation algorithms have been vetted with the help of MGH and are extremely accurate. That's how we really understand what's happening in your body in real time. But the most important part of what we do is giving you insights that you can act on. So using this information, not only can we tell you where your body's limit is, but how to warm up or recover optimally. And that's just the start, because we've already seen the potential to identify much more, such as early signs of under or overtraining. Now, the best part of it is that it's all real. We've manufactured a batch of alpha units that we've sold to Boston-based athletes, and we're extremely proud and excited to be shipping those next month. We're launching before the end of the year at a retail price of $300, plus a subscription for advanced insights. And when going to market, by selling to the more than 7 million avid runners, cyclists, and triathletes in the US, because they're the ones who asked us to build this device for them. These people train 3 to 7 times a week and all share a common goal: improving their performance. We'll leverage their strong community both online and offline, going to the meetups, showcasing our device at races, and helping them optimize training for performance. Down the line, we'll sell to the individual endurance athletes at the more amateur level, helping them optimize training for fitness or weight loss. I'm Alessandro. I graduated from MIT Sloan and used to work for a venture capital fund with a focus on wearable technologies. This is Dan, PhD candidate at MIT with expertise in adaptive learning. We're a team of 8, advised by leading actors in the sports industry, such as Dr. Preventure, the head doctor of the New England Patriots. Now, before we finish, I want you all to think about the human body. It hasn't changed much in the past 100 years, and it's not going to change much in the next 100. Yet runners have been running longer, swimmers swimming faster, and teams are winning more. What we do at Humon is enable the next generation of athletes to be more than their legacy by optimizing the way their body works in real time and for the first time. We're Humon, and we need your help to achieve this vision. Please vote for us and come talk to us after the show. Thank you.
Want to go first, Jack?
I don't understand that. So tell me, how do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? We've seen a number of people out in this hallway. Why are you different?
We're the only ones that give you actionable insights. So the data we get is validated, it's proven, but we don't show you data. We're not going to show you a graph of, say, your heart rate, your muscle oxygenation. We digest it, we personalize it to you based on your own goals, and we tell you what to do, when to do it, while you work so you can achieve your goal. The goal we're helping people achieve right now is improving their performance.
Does that register where you're going to show us that data there, or is you going to show it on the phone?
So today, it pairs with an iPhone app, and it shows it on the phone in real time when you train. We're working on integrating with any bike computers, smartwatches, adding vibration, all these other features to improve the user experience.
Being able to show some of the actionable insights, I think, is absolutely wonderful. We get to see a ton of the wearables and trackers and monitors that really focus on data capture without necessarily giving us information of what to do with the data. So I think being focused on the actionable insights is great. The question I have is on the market size.
Yes.
I can see the applicability to the kind of elite performance, professional athletes. I struggle a little bit with that path down towards the more of a mass consumer, whether there will be significant adoption. They may not be, but I would just like to understand a little bit more how you think about your market opportunity.
Sure. So what we focus on right now is that middle layer. So the professionals we don't sell to, we test with them, we learn from them, we sponsor them, but we really sell to the layer below. And the people in that layer below are, between 25 and 40 years old. They train to improve their performance. That's the unique goal. So 4 to 6 times a week, extremely competitive. They spend, a triathlete in that category will spend up to $4,000 every year just to improve performance, whether it's a wearable, a wetsuit, or maybe a bike every 5 years. And so these are the people we sell to. If you just consider runners, cyclists, and triathletes, these are 7 million of them in the US. And these people will be the first one that buy our devices. Now, at the same semi-pro level, we can target also the rowers, the skiers, the swimmers, all the endurance athletes, for which our device works as well. Now, when we talk about downstream, we're providing a better measure that's not available to the market today. And that measure can also be useful to someone that's not training to improve in performance, but just maybe training to be fit. Down the line, once we've first sold to this semi-pro market, we'll go to the more amateur market and help them optimize training for fitness. For a different goal, just optimizing, using a real measure that's actually measuring how your body works.
Got it.
Monetization strategy.
Yes.
Your lifetime value, you say $300 plus $10 a month.
Yes.
That seems low. How are you going to do that? How are you going to acquire customers at a price where that's profitable?
So regarding on the hardware, our margins at this price are extremely attractive because this is extremely cheap to produce. Now, regarding the analytics, there's an unlimited amount of analytics we can do. The thing we're focusing on right now is warm-up, recovery, and body's limit. But as we said, there's so much we can learn. So these dollars a month is not a fixed price. There's every additional insights we can add on it. And maybe you'll be interested in your warm-up and you'll be interested in your recovery. And so we can tailor this to make sure we can upsell you constantly, adding more insights. We're already profitable just by selling the hardware, given we manufacture it at a very good price.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is John Fennessy. I'm the founder of Crowdsight. Crowdsight is a platform, it's a mobile platform that helps sponsors activate at live events. Now, having worked in sponsorship, I can see there's a big challenge for sponsorship on the horizon. It used to be relatively straightforward. Sponsorship took place in venue, but now the audience has migrated to social channels. So for sponsors, there's no protection and there's no advantage on social channels. So what that means is social activation is now under attack. Adidas spent 25 million to sponsor the World Cup, but Nike, having spent 0, was able to get much more brand and social mentions in alignment with the World Cup. So as a sponsor, you've got to ask, are we getting the bang for our buck here? So this is the problem. This is the Super Bowl 50 and the social pulse of the game. And what sponsors have to do is activate within that social noise. So they have to try and create value. They have to try and stand out. So what CrowdSight does is help them do that. It's a real-time, location-aware engagement platform that integrates into team and event apps. There's 3 principles. We capture high-quality fan-generated content. We identify which of these items of content are the most valuable. And then we create opportunities for sponsors to react and have one-to-one relationships with the fans. So the first step, capture. We integrate, this is the Super Bowl Stadium 50 app, or the Super Bowl 50 Stadium app, and we integrate as a rewards menu item directly in the app. Using experiential rewards as the incentive, we can then get fans to upload their content. So here we've got Bud Light, and for the most amazing fan moment, they're offering the fan to meet the Jaguars team. So this is what we want to get to. We want to get a showcase of the live fan experience from the fans attending the event. And the reason we want to do this is so that second screeners at home, they can actually come in and they can see, okay, this is what it's like to be at the stadium. So all of this content is then shareable by second screeners. So when they see a fantastic moment like this is Toby trying to bribe his way into a VIP suite by buying Jaguars owner a Bud Light. This is something that resonates with them, and they can share it out from our platform. Now, this is when CrowdSight really kicks into gear. So we've captured hundreds of moments related to any moment of the social pulse, and now we can actually track all the interactions from our platform onto social media. So all the clicks, likes, shares, engagement on Facebook and Twitter, we can track all that and really identify the social momentum of each individual item of content. So you can see Toby's image there. You can see the graph, and it shows the momentum is rising. So really what we've done is identified, it's not just Toby's mother who's sharing this content. It's not just his buddies. This is going viral. This is resonating with the fans. So we've identified the top 1% of fan-generated content created at the event. So what do we do then? Well, then we have to create opportunities for the sponsor to react with it. So one, they can push it out across their official corporate profiles, all of it branded, because we've captured in our platform, so the terms and conditions allow us to do that. But secondly, and this is the really interesting part, is they can actually respond and reward those fans directly in the stadium. So this is one of our templates, and here you've got the original image, and then you've also got Toby being rewarded, and he's backstage in the locker room. So it really tells a story of the fan experience. And this is really what we want to get to. We want to create and impact the actual social pulse of the game. And we want to do it so it benefits the sponsor, so there's a measurable impact to the social pulse for them. So the benefits, we capture the top 1% of fan-generated content. We generally can get greater than 90% return on engagement, because anybody who gets a reward is delighted and wants to talk about us. And we have the potential to capture thousands of social details related that you can then use for your CRM, whether the fans are in the stadium or at home. Compared to our competitors, while social media aggregators are focusing on the social noise and trying to make sense of it, we're looking at getting the cream of the content. Additionally, in comparison with post-event digital sponsorship tools like a 360 stadium picture, that's more when the alignment fades. We're trying to focus on the real time, when the emotional engagement is at its highest. So this is where we're at now. We're based in Dublin, Ireland. We're trying to build on our European discussions and trials. We operate on a revenue share model in terms of sponsor activation, influencer insights, but also potentially syndication of content. And really, I suppose we're here looking for advisors to the US market and strategic partners and resellers, as well as, of course, rights holders. And this, I'll end on this. This is our team, myself with sports marketing experience, Neil with sort of mobile advertising experience, and Robinson with gamification, which really sort of adds different elements to the overall offering. Thank you.
Charts. Every one of your charts showed pre-game, halftime, and immediately post-game. So breaks in the action of the game.
Yeah.
So is it the content that's attractive, or is it just the fact that you've got pre-game, halftime, and post-game when there's usually more social activity anyway?
Well, there's content created throughout the game. And really what we want to do is identify which pieces of content at any point in the game are resonating with the fans. So it doesn't come down to any breaks in the game. It's generally tracking when things are being shared, and for each individual item of content, how popular it is in real time during the game. That arms the sponsor with the ability to actually in the first 10 minutes identify, okay, this is the piece of content that's resonating with the fans. So they can actually share it out.
So in your research, you've seen content that has resonated during the game, just as much as pre-game, halftime, or immediately post-game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to kind of, John, this will be kind of off question, is this is irrelevant to the entire internet. Have you used it any place besides sports? It seems sports is more complicated because you've got a monopoly controlling the content, so it's problematic.
Yeah.
Why would you do it in sports where you have that complication as opposed to do it someplace else?
I think it's about live events and sponsored value. So it's really about identifying the content that resonates and then bridging the gap for sponsors to actually use that content. That's what we're trying to do.
How do you think about the content generation here? What would incentivize fans to now start uploading the content through the link in the team app versus going what they already know, right? Facebook, Instagram, etc.
What we found is we worked in it for the Dublin Marathon, and we worked with an electricity company who gave 6 months free electricity, and we got a great response for that. I think the benefit with sports is you can give an experiential reward. So really related to the fan experience. And that sort of pulls more people in.
But who gives those rewards? Teams?
That would be the team or the sponsor. Probably the sponsor because they're getting the most value out of this, but potentially also the team as well.
If it was the team, would you share, so 49ers, would you share revenue with the team?
Of course.
You would have to.
That's our model, revenue share.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here. I'm Joe Shushat, the founder of Winning Identity, which is the golf software platform that's changing the game. So we have three primary focuses. We focus on the instructional side of the business, we focus on club fitting, and we have a new piece that's taking all of this data and turning it into consumer insights. So looking at what we do, so on the instructional side, what we do is we target the golf professional. So we actually help them run a more effective business through scheduling and give them a number of tools to actually more accurately run their business. So we've actually partnered with Golf Channel Academy, Golf Channel, and Golf Now to actually get the word out. So you'll see in a second that we've got quite a bit of traction here. Oh, I'm already there. So you can see that we've partnered with third-party technologies as well to basically have all the data come into one place. And we've written an algorithm for club fitting where we can take your data and actually accurately tell you what clubs would be the right equipment for you and fulfill that order. And then within the system, we take all of this data and we can provide consumer insights through a partnership with IBM Watson, where we can then compare you to a PGA Tour player. Along with that, we can tell you basically a number of different things on your personality, from how confident you are to how intellectual you are, and then provide that data back to the company. So we can say everybody that bought a Callaway driver has these personality traits. So looking at what our instruction platform does, we help the golf course with scheduling. So we actually allow them to post their availability on their website, and they can actually then sell packages, generating more revenue, and actually drive their users to their website with some instructional tools where they can analyze their own videos, track their stats, do a number of different things in competition where we can actually then engage the users in a number of different ways and upcharge them on different functions. The club fitting piece is extremely robust. This does everything from basically manage a CRM for a club fitter to doing their bookings, but we actually, as I mentioned, wrote an algorithm where we can take data from a FlightScope device, which is a launch monitor, and actually accurately recommend what the right set of golf clubs for you is. It's totally brand agnostic. It's really the first thing in the industry that takes every major manufacturer and puts it into an algorithm to tell you what the right piece of equipment for you is. And then through a partnership that we have with TrueSpec Golf, we can actually fulfill those orders in about 48 to 72 hours and give you fulfillment updates as your clubs are being built. And the third piece is actually taking all of the data that we have in the system and really breaking it down further. So we can actually provide you with personality insights on each user that comes through our system. So we're actually providing Golf Channel with some very valuable insights on who their clients are, who's going to a Golf Channel Academy, why are they going there, and actually breaking that down and then comparing them to a PGA Tour player, which is very fun and basically, in turn, actually tells them who to kind of model their game after from a mental perspective, which hasn't really been done to this point. So looking at our business model, we have three primary revenue streams. We started off by licensing this to golf pros. So we actually have about 283 academies across the United States of America and a couple overseas as well. And we're just kind of branching out there now, where we sell them a SaaS-based model, anywhere from $100 a month all the way to $5,000 a month, depending on what it is that they want in their system. And then for every golf club that gets sold through the system, there's a revenue sharing piece where we actually get a cut of every golf club that gets sold through our solution. And then the third way is that there's actually some features within the system where we can actually upsell the actual end golfer. So we've got about 27,000 plus users utilizing it in some capacity, and we actually have the ability to then engage them and upsell them on different functionality as well. So we've actually turned profitable at the end of 2015, where we've kind of seen some great growth is through our relationship with Golf Channel, where they've started to really get us into the face of they have 9,800 facilities, so we've slowly been going through their database to actually then sell. And through what we'll be launching at the US Open is an online storefront through Golf Channel and Golf Now, where all of their facilities will now have the ability to sell golf clubs without maintaining any inventory through the fulfillment that we set up with TrueSpec Golf. And as I mentioned, we actually have over 27,000 users. In terms of our team, I'm the founder of the company. I used to represent Canada internationally in competition and actually spent 2 years caddying on tour and could tell you some great stories, which we can talk about after. I then went out and needed to hire somebody that could actually scale this business out there. So I hired Derek Allard, who's my CTO. He wrote a CMS system called Expression Engine, which is actually being utilized on Apple.com to this day. And Steven, who helps with a number of different functions as well. And then what we did was to ensure that we had the top golf information in the world. We went out and brought Ben Shear and James Lights. James Lights is the only top 100 club fitter and teacher in the world, and Ben is the foremost golf expert, one of the foremost golf experts, training players such as Luke Donald and Webb Simpson on tour. So we get their insights on everything that it is that we do. So again, as I mentioned, we're really the one-stop shop for golf. So we can create a customized solution for each golf academy or golf facility, licensing it to them on a SaaS-based model. We've done over 450,000 in sales in the last 8 months, and we'll be launching some pretty exciting things with Golf Channel here in the next couple of months. So that's Winning Identity, and thank you for having me.
The 405 was just on the licensing? Is that what the 405 that you just showed us in the last 8 months? Was that just from the licensing?
Yeah, we just have a SaaS-based model. So yeah, pretty much everything is through that for the most part. I would say out of that 450, I think 150 is through clubs. So we've actually, 300 is about SaaS-based, 150 on clubs.
So you showed us the three verticals you're getting revenue from. Which of those three is your best?
Up to this point, we've really focused on the SaaS-based model. But I think going forward, we're going to see a lot more clubs just through launching with Golf Channel and doing different things. So it's about 75-25, but we kind of see it being more of like a 50-50 between the top two, or 45-45, and maybe 10 on the golfer side.
Well, obviously, there's a lot more golfers than there are stores and academies. So where do you see yourself going amongst those three? Where's your growth?
So we really want to get into all of the facilities. We've really tried to target B2B. We've kind of felt that it's easier for us, especially as a startup, to get as many golf facilities on board as possible. So we're really going to continue to focus. We have a great support from Golf Now, which has 10,000 facilities that they do tee time bookings for. So they've introduced us to a number of them, but You know, we're kind of working our way through, trying to not overwhelm ourselves, and we've gotten about 283 utilizing it in some capacity right now.
So your golf facilities are more than courses?
Yeah, the courses or the academies, you know, they kind of go hand in hand now.
Thank you.
Who else is doing this? Who do you compete against?
What we kind of noticed is that there were a lot of one-off applications that did one thing. So we found that a lot of the clients kind of come to us because they're paying for 5 or 6 different things. We're really the first one, and that's really why I think Golf Channel decided to partner with us, that combined everything into one place. We kind of felt that, you know, they were paying for 5 different services, and where they generated their money for the most part was off of giving lessons. So they were driving their customers to different places and not to where they book their lessons. So we're actually driving them to the same place where they can actually engage them, book their lessons, and then ultimately now they can actually sell them golf clubs and generate a small commission on that.
Joe, how many full-time employees do you have?
We have 5 full-time employees, including myself.
So just a quick comment is, it seems like you've got at least 3 different businesses here, almost 1 per employee, and focus is going to be key for you going forward. Congratulations, but you're going to have to focus on something or raise a ton of money.
Yeah, no,
because you're doing lots of different things. You got 3 different interesting companies here, and you're going to get defocused.
Yeah, no, really what ended up happening, we built about a 5-feature base to start, and we just had academies come at us with, hey, I love that it can do A and B, can it do C? And they actually funded the actual building of it, and then we would take what we built and started licensing that out to other academies. So, you know, we kind of do all that just because people paid us to build it, and as a startup, you kind of go where the money is.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you.
That's the next slide, and that's back.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all. Those words are as true today as the day Vince Lombardi uttered them. Where I Measure You, and we're a mobile athlete fatigue tracker. We help coaches and athletes understand and lean into fatigue and use it to their advantage. Athlete fatigue today is the difference between winning and losing. Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, Tom Brady, those guys aren't healthy, the team's not healthy, the game's not healthy, the league's not healthy. Fatigue today is not just about winning and losing, it's about millions of dollars. The problem is, it's very difficult to quantify fatigue. Psychological fatigue is subjective. Physiological fatigue is invasive. Physical fatigue, on the other hand, can be quantified. But the challenge is you need all sorts of equipment to try and quantify it. Things like timing gates, high-speed video, and the like. What if we could replace all of that equipment with one simple, easy-to-use mobile fatigue platform? Enter IMU, a multi-sensor app platform that can quantify fatigue in real time, where it matters, when it matters. Multiple sensors on every part of the body that can truly quantify an athlete's movement. Case in point, a recent collaboration we've had with Professor Irene Davis, who's in the room from Harvard University, quantifying the foot strike of soldiers in the field. We're able to give soldiers real-time feedback on their running as they're running, and they're able to change their technique on the fly. Imagine the implications for this in pro sport. You're able to quantify, for instance, a baseball pitcher under fatigue and sub that pitcher out in real time. The implications are enormous. It can be the difference in losing and winning and losing in elite sport, and in the case of the military, living or dying. This is not the slide that I had on my presentation. But today, we're focused on blue chip institutions. So we're working with the likes of USC, Harvard University, the Australian Institute of Sport. We've proven our technology with those organizations from a research basis. We're now moving into the pro sports business, working with the NBA and NFL teams and NCAA. We'll then get to prosumers and consumers by partnering with apparel vendors. So today you'll see a piece of hardware, a sensor, that'll be embedded in apparel, and the athlete will not even know they're wearing it. We'll then look to monetize that data and help our customers leverage that data by partnering with athlete analytics vendors. And the grand goal, the kind of blue sky vision, is imagine your favorite athlete in a World Series. Imagine being able to get those real-time fatigue metrics and compare that to their competitor in a World Series final and actually see that live and on the screen. Now that would be pretty awesome. Speaking of awesome, the IMU team is world-class. Our chief scientist and co-founder also founded the Humon Performance Lab at Stanford University. Our CEO represented New Zealand at swimming and is an esteemed bioengineer. Our chairman founded the world's biggest mobile banking company. For me, I measure you as personal. As a former top 20 world-ranked junior athlete in squash and then triathlon, my career was cut down by injury. If I had I measure you and understood my fatigue and load, I would have been able to prolong my sporting career. So in summary, I measure you is a mobile fatigue tracker that can be worn by the athlete wherever they are, on the field, in the gym, on the court, no matter where they are. We help athletes not be cowards. We help them use fatigue to be champions. I'm Matt Clark, and we're I Measure You. Thank you.
Matt, what kind of revenues do you have today?
So we've sold about 1,500 sensors to various institutes of sport and universities, and our average sale price per sensor is around the $1,000 to $1,500 mark, depending on volume. But our pro sports value proposition is very much a per player, per sort of, I guess, a subscription per month per player.
Have you sold to any professional sports team?
No, so we're in, I guess, product market fit phase. So we're working with an NBA team and an NFL team and a number of sports in Australia to try and find product market fit from a commercial perspective. So right now, from a business perspective, we've sold our units, and the units are like less than 12 grams. You can wear up to 8 of these on different parts of the body. And we've sold them just as, I guess, a per sensor type sale. So it's been a very simple business model so far.
So Matt, if you came to my office, what's the pitch? What exactly do you measure? I guess I'm a little bit confused on the value prop here.
Today in pro sport, you're familiar with a GPS player tracker?
Yeah.
So GPS treats the body as a single unit of mass, right? One thing. But what about if you want to measure, for instance, if I'm a baseball pitcher or a cricket bowler, I might not actually move that far from a distance and speed perspective, but I'm putting an enormous amount of stress on my body. I might want to quantify counter rotation, lateral flexion of my back. I might want to know what's the speed of my wrist and the angle of my wrist when I release the ball. I might want to be able to quantify kick count or kick intensity, right? GPS stuff doesn't do that. So we kind of add inertial sensors are able to measure micro movements and explosivity of the body.
So is the secret sauce here then you can do the measurement much more granularly than what zebras or...
We can measure up to 1,000 hertz, so that's 1,000 data points per second. So if you're thinking about an explosive movement like bowling a cricket ball, if I go to bowl a cricket ball, I might run up for 20 meters, but really I'm interested in this motion, bang, bang, so we can quantify that exactly. A case in point, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with cricket, but a third of all Australia's fast bowlers are injured at one time. So, and the key thing for them is they want to be able to quantify fatigue and load of their fast bowling, and we're able to do that. And that's a project we've worked with Cricket Australia on. Does that make sense?
Yep, thank
Yep.
you.
So Matt, tell me, is it more of the training or is it more of in-game that you're trying to crack?
So we can't control games in terms of some games won't let you wear wearables, right? So FIFA right now won't let soccer players wear wearables in games, but there's nothing stopping the athlete from wearing our sensors both in training and in games unless their league prevents them. But I see this huge value proposition about, all professional sport is about balancing fatigue and fitness, right? That holy grail is getting the balance right. Fatigue someone enough so they can adapt and get better, but not so much that they get injured. So I think the big utility is in training.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with such an amazing audience like you, so thank you for this possibility. Nice to meet you. I am Paolo Ranieri, CEO at agonism.com. We've been talking about sports analytics for decades, but we are now in sports analytics, no further along than we were with physics, when Isaac Newton sat under his apple tree. Talking about basketball, there are still tons of coaches out there that can't afford the sports analytics they deserve, because of lack of money, lack of time, and lack of knowledge, of course. Well, in my agonism, we dream to democratize the sports analytics innovation for every coach in the world. Have you ever felt the pain of a low-budget coach struggling to have a more efficient tool in order to analyze his team to win the game? We solve this problem with a bundle of analytics services really working hard and innovative, but affordable for everybody. We've been working on this for the last 3 years, and thanks to our great software engineers and amazing basketball professional project managers, we realized the product that simply works. Yeah, the difference is that it works. You can analyze the action and track the action during the game with our iPad application. Very easy to use, but very professional, so your assistant coach can do this easily. Or you can track and analyze the workload of the trainings and the games with our strength and condition application. We did this with Francesco Cuzzolin, that is a worldwide guru of strength and condition. He worked for the Toronto Raptors for many years. Or you can track the moves and physics of your players 50 times per second with our great wearable hardware. And you can analyze every kind of this data into our mobile platform, myagonism.com. Behind everything, our innovative algorithms, proprietary algorithms, works to give you a revolutionary talent evaluation. We are literally changing the way of creating the single stats from the bottom. We do this thanks to the fuzzy logic. We are giving to every single action of the player a value that takes in account many variables that are still not considered right now for talent evaluation in sport. Our monetization, we monetize from a freemium premium business model normally, but on every services. But our core business is to provide big amount of data to the sport-related businesses, betting, gaming, broadcasting media, and so on. We are growing fast. We launched last month the real marketing campaign, and we have 1,000 clubs subscribed from more than 43 countries in the world. In terms of basketball market, it's huge for us because it generates $1 billion yearly in terms of operating income only in the US. In terms of go-to-market, we partnered with every club by giving them the possibility to enlarge their audience thanks to our Basketball Live Talk TV application. That is a second screen application, very easy to use, that lets every fan talk and chat with his friend while watching the TV, while watching the game. Plus, we give them the possibility to monetize from their young team potential because of our freemium-based services. And also, we already have 10 business ambassadors in 10 countries in the world, here on the green. In terms of competitors, as I told you, we give advanced innovative analytics while remaining affordable for the vast majority of the coaches out there, affordable and usable. This is the core team, my co-founders. We have sports skills, business skills, software engineer skills, everything we deserve to do this, but this is the real crew as of today. Look at us, we are amazing, aren't we? We already raised $350,000 until now, and we used this small amount of money to produce all of this stuff that I told you. We are raising a Series A, of course, to scale up fast. And in conclusion, what I want to say is that the life of a coach could be really hard. But thanks to our services, they can save money, save time, and get knowledge for the basketball. So I was a basketball player too, and I honestly can say that what we like to do is simplify the coach's life, simply. Thank you so much.
So let me ask you, the key here is getting the data in. How do you get the data input before you analyze it?
It was our core goal, because we started from the algorithm and we realized that without the data, algorithm is nothing. And in terms of stats, is the assistant coach by tapping into the iPad. Okay. So manually, but
can you go back to the picture?
Yeah, obviously.
It's very important.
Yeah. We have the basic version of everything is manually for every kind of stat. This is the stats application. So the assistant coach tap into the iPad in a very easy way and grab the professional actions like hustle play, second chance points of turnover, and so on. But he tells us also the position XY. And if the club have the money, but only if have the money, because this is free, but the hardware is not free. If you have the money, you can purchase also the hardware, and obviously the hardware can track everything. Even in a Z mode, we can track also in the 3D mode. 50 times per second is not easy to do.
Okay,
and even this is the strength and condition, and is made from, the input is from the assistant coach, trainers obviously, that tracks the physical conditions game by game, training by training, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots going on here. So,
there's 5 companies.
Yeah, so you're looking at strength and conditioning app, you're looking at coaching app, you're looking at consumer app, I believe you talked a little bit about as well. Those strike me as fairly different in terms of way that you as an organization would interact with. Help me kind of wrap my hands around it. Kind of how do you choose to do all of that? Is there one area of specific focus? Because again, there's just a lot of different things going on.
We started from the stats part, but then we realized that the problem was not to produce another new, super innovative core company, because there are already many companies even here. The problem is to provide this kind of great experience to the vast majority of coaches, because out there, 80% of coaches even don't know why they have to use sports analytics, or they can't afford this. So we basically provide great advanced analytics, but not the top tier analytics, but we provide these for the vast majority of the coaches out there. And in terms of business, we related the cost of data acquisition, and that's why we don't ask too much money from the clubs. We ask money from the media, from the betting companies, because we have data of many clubs that still don't exist in the map of many companies.
I would say focus on one thing. I think Bill mentioned before, focus is key here. And if you come to us, we're not a basketball team, obviously, but doing one thing well and being able to show the value in terms of ROI to the team, whether it's strength and conditioning app, whether it's the play tracking app, that's something that teams will pay for. Otherwise, you are looking at a lot of different things, a lot of different kind of value levers, and it's just hard to.
Yeah, we know this. We were in Silicon Valley to do a focus on this, and we realized that our focus is not the product. Our focus is to provide these services to everybody.
Okay.
So we have the focus, but it's a business focus, not a product focus.
Got it.
You said you have 1,000 or so clubs. You've got a lot of customers right away. Where are the clubs from?
We have at least 10 clubs from 40 countries in the world. It's the blue, where? Sorry. Here is the light blue. It's from everywhere, but we not for our marketing. We started last month the marketing. They by themselves subscribed. They were searching for something affordable probably, and they found us and subscribed. That's why we're starting with the business ambassador in the world, because they need us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See their focus on.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Ed Trimble. I'm the founder and CEO of an Atlanta-based company called Fanbeat. The origin of Fanbeat is that while some fans like to kick back and watch a game, a sporting event, more and more fans want to get in on the action, especially the younger generation. And the greatest evidence of this is the explosion of fantasy sports, right, that we're all very familiar with. Fanbeat specifically is a live-action gaming platform, if you will, that lets fans compete to win prizes by answering predict the action and trivia questions while cheering on their favorite team. Let's drill into that a little bit. How does it work? So fans could be at the stadium or watching the game on TV at home. They have their mobile device, and they start to get questions pushed to the mobile device during breaks in the action. Those questions can be predict the action or trivia. Answer the questions, the action happens, or the trivia is answered. If you get a correct answer, you earn points. You earn points, you move up the leaderboard, you have a chance to win prizes for the game, you collect points across games for the season, and you're able to compete against all other fans watching the game and also set up private groups and compete with friends. Just some of the types of questions that we're able to ask. Who will make the next three-point shot for the Celtics? All right, Jordan Spieth is in the sand trap. Will he get up and down in 2? Will the Patriots go for it on 4th down? And then trivia. Also, we found through our market test that fans really enjoy having some trivia that educate them more about the teams and the players. Who is the Red Sox all-time strikeout leader? Our go-to-market model is not to launch this and try to build a fan base ourselves, but to go out and partner with teams, with leagues, and with media companies to make Fanbeat available to their fan bases. Some of you out in the audience are probably familiar with other efforts at this. It's been called in the past predictive gaming. There have definitely been some attempts along the way, some carnage as other companies have tried to make this happen. We kind of tongue-in-cheek refer to what we're doing as predictive gaming 2.0. It's the next generation of this. What we've built and what's available on the mobile device with Fanbeat, you couldn't have built 5 years ago. We're taking advantage of some advances in technology, some trends in the market that's just now making this possible. Just 4 quick things that are unique to Fanbeat versus prior attempts at this. We have a game producer that runs the game. So pre-play, you guys may be familiar with that from Major League Baseball. Other attempts at this, they've tried to run the game based on data feeds, so they let the machine run the game. And while that's very efficient, allows you to get across the market very quickly, it creates a very repetitive gaming experience. And also, you're not able to kind of precisely control the timing of the question and the variety of content that we're able to push through Fanbeat. There's a lot of flexibility for our partners in the platform, so they're able to do some really unique things with the questions and with the content that they push out. We have a very modern, highly engaging UI, and the whole experience is very team-centric. And to that team-centric point, it's really interesting looking at real-time gaming with Fanbeat versus fantasy. I love this quote from someone in New York Times in 2015. The problem is that fantasy, by its very definition, is disengaged from reality. It has created a class of fans who view the NFL every weekend only through the distorted prism of their own made-up rosters. We put the team back at the center of fan gaming. As I mentioned a minute ago, it's more than just gaming. We're also able to push out interesting content during the sporting event. It's almost a mobile broadcast platform as we're able to reach literally up to hundreds of thousands of people simultaneously on the mobile device. The business model I can go into more detail about, but basically we've woven sponsors into the experience. We've tried to do it from the ground up in a way to where we minimize disruption to the fans, but we maximize the value to the sponsors of being included in the app. Here's an example of one of the integrated promos. Where we are with the business, we've had very successful market tests with Duke basketball, with the Atlanta Braves, with the Atlanta Falcons. We ran the whole season. We learned a lot over the past 9 months
in doing this, and we're seeing some really amazing engagement metrics from the fans playing the game. Over 40% return to play multiple times, and with the final 5 games of the Falcons season, there's actually 83% of the fans that started playing the game were still playing Fanbeat at the end of the game. So we're very, very proud of that. We're going to be launching with the Atlanta Braves this season. They're our first MLB club that we're launching with. Fanbeat will be integrated with the MLB Ballpark app, and we're very actively talking with lots of other teams and then also media companies. You can run this alongside the broadcast, not just in venue. So we've got a very healthy pipeline of deals ahead of us going into the summer. Last slide. Just to kind of tie it all up, so we've made this decision to really go to market, partnering with teams, leagues, and media companies. What does this provide to our partners? Better fan engagement, increased fan engagement. So you've got the fan engaging with the team on the mobile device. They watch more, they watch longer. There's all kinds of benefits there. There's an incremental sponsorship revenue opportunity for our team partners. And finally, and very relevant to this conference, there's valuable data and analytics that are captured in the app as part of Fanbeat. Again, my name is Ed Trimble. I'm the founder and CEO, and I'm here with my colleague, Brandon Farley, who heads up business development for us. Thank you.
Can I go? Go ahead. Ed, tell us about your team. Why is your team going to win in an area that's pretty well known?
So we're a small team. We're a team of 6. We've got a very strong mix of technology skills, some sports knowledge and background, more so through our advisory board. We've invested about 18 months in building out this product, getting it to market with these market tests, learning from mistakes that we made, improving the product.
What is your background?
So my background's in technology. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm probably best known for a company that I founded back in 1999 called EasyGov. We put government on the internet. So I've always been involved in kind of applying advanced technology, the latest technology, to solving interesting problems.
EasyGov and startup.com?
Yes. Yep, we were the competition.
Yeah.
Good.
Who are your competitors?
So,
what do you have over your competitors, and what's proprietary to what you have?
Yeah, so, we're really unique in what we're offering today. When we go in and talk to teams and media companies, they're not comparing us against other companies. There have been a couple of attempts at this that haven't been successful, but right now this market's really wide open. We feel like we've got some proprietary technology, particularly around the game production side of this. So there's an Oz behind the curtain that's actually running these games, and we think that's really unique. And there's a strong first mover advantage that we have here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. Up next are going to be our 7 competitors that have raised over $1 million, and that'll kick off at 2 o'clock. So please stick around, and if you do go out in the halls, tell some of your friends to join us for the second half. Thanks a lot.